Hello, Leo. Welcome to your reading for January 2018. I'm Jennifer, and today I just want to let you know real quick that I'll be using the Good Tarot by Colette Baron Reed, and then we're going to pull an oracle card from Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambrak Rose, and another oracle card as a surprise for later. So I already pulled your cards, and I'm just doing a 9-card spread. And at the center of the spread, which I like to start with that, we have the 7 of Fire, which is the 7 of Wands. So this is the card about saying that whatever it is that you've been, that you feel passionate about or fired up to do, or anything that you have your mind set on, you might be being opposed from people. There might be people thinking that, whatever it is you're doing isn't a good idea, or basically just kind of like standing in your way and getting in your way. And this card is saying, you got to do what you got to do. You have to do what's right for you. It doesn't matter if other people, approve or not. Because a lot of times when we want to do things that are, perhaps different, or, different from what we're used to doing, which is doing something new, or, saying the things that we need to say, people aren't always going to be happy about that, but we have to say what we need to say anyway. And actually, before we go any further, at the bottom of the deck, you have the 4 of Earth. So this is about, like, home, building a strong... Well, it doesn't have to be about home, but often does represent home. And it's like having a firm foundation to build upon. And that's the overall energy of your spread. And surrounding this card, which is the heart of the matter for your spread, we start off with the Ace of Wands. So that's saying that you have either been there's either something new that has come into your life or is about to come into your life within the next few weeks, or the tarot and readings don't go by time, but and this is a general reading, so it could be a multitude of things. This could also be you charging forward with something new that you want to bring into your life. And I'm just going to go through each card, and then I'm going to get into more depth. Next, you have the 8 of Water, which is the 8 of Cups. And this is a card about letting go. This is about, releasing what no longer serves you and looking at things differently. Realizing, what is it that brings you fulfillment? What makes you feel fulfilled? Maybe you don't feel as satisfied as you used to with certain aspects of your life or things that you have. And then next we have the 9 of Earth. And this is the card about being independent and knowing that, whatever it is that you can basically, it's saying you could take care of yourself. You can do it. You can feel like you are I guess I don't want to say prepared, but like you have everything you need. You have everything you need, and you can do that on your own. The next card you have is the 8 of Earth, and this is about learning a new craft, or maybe bringing in new ways of doing things into your work, or into your, whatever you, at home, whatever kinds of things that can be physically manifested, whether even as depicted by the instrument on this card. Could be learning a new hobby, learning a new instrument, or sharpening the skills that you already have. And working hard to bring something to fruition in your life. And then after that, it's the Seven of Wands, which we already went over. And then after that, you have the World card. And this is a card about completions. Also, we can look at it like, you know, maybe leaving your mark on the world. Or, you know, like in this card here, there's a keyhole. So it's sort of like, you know, maybe thinking like, where do you fit into the world? How do you, you know, what is it that you're bringing into the world? What are you, or what potential within yourself are you unlocking? What are you completing? What are you bringing to fruition? The next card is the Six of Air. And this card is about, you know, moving on from perhaps a difficult situation. This card, the ship sort of looks like it's, I don't know. It sort of looks like it's coming out of a storm and moving away from something that was perhaps a difficult situation. After that, you have the Queen of Air. And this is the Queen of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And this could mean that there's somebody in your life, perhaps a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, or these could be aspects of yourself about, you know, setting boundaries, knowing, you know, thinking logically in your mind about what is right for you, and letting people know that, and not being afraid to speak up when you need to. And using that experience, the experiences that you have gained in your life, to make you the person that you are today. And letting those experiences shine through you as well. And then finally, we have the Star card. That's your ending card, which is a nice card to end your reading on. And this is a card of hope, of healing, of, you know, inspiration, looking forward to, you know, what potential lies in the future. So, first let's look at this first row of cards. And you have the Ace of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and then the Nine of Earth. So this kind of says to me that either you have taken some sort of action, or something is being presented in your life, and you're having to sort of look at things like in terms of like what makes you happy, what are you going to let go of in order to either let this come in, or to let yourself get to this point, which is of having abundance and prosperity. And you know, having abundance and prosperity isn't always like making lots and lots of money. I mean, you don't have to make a lot of money to feel abundant. To feel abundant is basically more about being fulfilled in many aspects of your life. So how are you, you know, and of course water, cups, they talk about your emotional self. So, you know, have you been ignoring your emotional self? Maybe you haven't really been trying to look very deeply within, and maybe that's what you need to start doing. Maybe there's going to be a situation that presents itself to you that's going to make you have some hard choices to make in order for you to get where it is that you need to be, which most of us would like to be in this place. I mean, who wouldn't want to be feeling, you know, independent and prosperous and abundant and having everything you need? And then the next row, we've got the Eight of Earth, the Seven of Fire, and the World. So it's about, you know, maybe you're learning something new, or you're working hard at something, and perhaps you're getting some opposition. Maybe you have to, you know, fight with your boss at work over, or not fight with them, but like you have to like defend yourself all the time, or you feel like you're not being recognized for the work that you've done or that you do, or that your contributions aren't being rewarded in the ways that you would like to see them be rewarded. And maybe, maybe this is saying, say something, stand up for yourself. Of course, know who you're dealing with, and don't say, well, you told me to do this and I got fired. Obviously use your own intuition and common sense. And if you're willing to, risk, then maybe that would pay off for you, or maybe there's a new direction for you to go in. Maybe there is some kind of a completion. Maybe there is something that you need to bring into this world, and you need to, for Leos, usually Leos are not the type to shy away and not say what they need to say. So, maybe there's something that you need to say, or that you need to defend yourself, and it either has something to do with work, or perhaps it doesn't mean that you have to maybe say something. Maybe it's something that you have been wanting to do. Maybe you've been wanting to learn a new instrument. Maybe you've been wanting to, I don't know, start something different, something new, where you can leave your mark on the world. And maybe you're, concerned with what others are going to think, but this card is saying, you know what? Do you know what it is that you want to do, and move forward on it regardless of what other people think. And I know it's easier said than done, but I think the more of us that start living in ways where we don't worry as much about what other people think, the more we give other people permission to do that as well. I know that that's some kind of quote, but it's the truth. And unfortunately, for those who go ahead and don't care what other people think, there's still a lot of people out there who care what other people think, because, especially like I'm a Libra, and so I understand how it is to, want to be liked, and Leos are like that too. They like to be liked, they like to be popular and have lots of friends, but sometimes you have to think, like, who are your friends? Are they really your friends, or are you just keeping yourself surrounded by people to be popular? Are you really being honest with yourself, or are you just trying to please the society? So the next three cards are the Six of Swords, or Six of Air, the Queen of Air, and the Star. So what this says is, maybe there was some kind of difficult situation, or there perhaps are things that you need to start moving in a new direction. You need to start moving somewhere else, in terms of like your thoughts, or perhaps actually moving, or changing jobs, or bringing something new in. It could be a change of job, actually. I'm kind of seeing that for you. And what the Queen of Air is saying is, like, put those boundaries up. Know who you are and be comfortable with who you are, and don't be afraid to say what you need to say. Even if people are going to think like, oh, you're cold, or how could you say that? But you know what? You have to consider, like, are you happy when you please others, or are you happier when you're honest with yourself? And that's like the Queen of Air. She's often depicted as like, lonely person, because she probably just tells people like it is all the time, and they don't like to hear it. But sometimes all of us have to take on those aspects, and we can't always tell people what they want to hear, because we're not being fair with ourselves, and we're also not being fair with them. We're deceiving them, and we're deceiving ourselves. And once you do this, once you move forward and you put up those boundaries and you say what needs to be said, then you can move into this space of healing and inspiration and of hope and of, you know, feeling like things are going to be okay again in your world. So I also want to take a look at these like in a different, so also we're going to look at it this way. So we have the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Earth and then the Six of Air. So this could be a change of job for some of you. Something new coming up in terms of a job, and I think you're going to choose to go ahead and take it. Or it doesn't have to be a job. It could be, like I said, doing something new in your physical world. Like maybe even if it's just something small, like starting a journal for the new year, or taking on a new hobby. Maybe you wanted to make jewelry. Maybe you always wanted to like play the drums. Maybe you wanted to learn how to dance. Whatever it is, you're gonna move forward and you're gonna do something new. Often this card, though, it does depict work, so this could definitely be a change of job for some of you. Or it could even be that you've recently changed jobs, you recently got a new job, and you might be sort of questioning like if you made the right decision because of this Eight of Water here. So maybe there's, you know, there's some kind of change that has taken place already, or that you're about to embark on, and either way you're considering like what it is that you need to let go of and what it is that you're going to hang on to, what fulfills you, what makes you happy, and persisting through that, doing it, you know, following through and defending yourself when you need to. And that is backed by the Queen of Air, who she's kind of like, she's kind of saying like she's backing up this fire card and saying, yes, you know, say what you need to say, defend yourself, move forward with what it is that you want to move forward with. And remember, I mean, I'm not saying that you should just go and quit your job and everything is going to work out because Spirit has your back. I mean, you have to, you know, do this in a grounded way, you know, on a foundation. Oh, and there's Six of Fire under there, which is good. That's a card of victory. So then we can look at this here and we see this to me is sort of saying like this is big changes for you. There's something big happening for you, Leo. It's going to be, you know, it's either going to be a big month for you, or going into the year is going to be big changes for you. And what I see is somebody who is comfortable with themselves. Somebody who feels, you know, abundant and prosperous and is in this place of like emotional healing and has hope for the future. And somebody who is, you know, doing what they need to do in terms of like, it's more than just having a job and getting a promotion. I mean, there's a lot more to life than just what you do for a living. And sometimes what you do in your job leaves its mark on the world. And are you happy with that? Are you satisfied with the work that you do in the world? Is there, you know, maybe you need to think about, like, Leos are definitely people who want to leave their mark on the world. They definitely like to be known and to, you know, not every Leo is going to be, you know, a big famous anything, but all of us can leave our mark on the world in big and small ways. So I think that's, you know, it's like once you get to this place, you're going to be able to leave your mark on the world a lot better. And you'll be able to find that inspiration and hope for your life. So that's it for that. And now I did already pull one of these cards for you when I pulled your cards. And this is the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle. And that's the card that we pulled for you. And this is Labus, Prophetess of Prague. A new door is opening. Step over the threshold. So we're going to read this message of it in the book. Doors open to allow us the opportunity to reach our fullest potential. Do not fear unknown territory. In the 8th century, the Druid princess Libus foresaw Prague in a mystical trance. It is said this took place on the hill of her castle at Vyšhrad, a magical site that has been occupied since 3000 BC. She saw a castle whose renown touches the heavens, its boundaries set by the Latva's waves. In this place would be a man constructing a pra. This is translated as threshold, but is also known to be a hollow dug in the center of European cities to connect them to the other world. There would then be a pra ritual or threshold ritual performed by a Druid priest aligning it to the 4 directions. This is how Prague got its name. Libus began the Premiluslid, sorry, I can't always pronounce everything in this book, dynasty of Czech kings, and represents the last of the Celtic matriarchal society. On her shoulder is the sokol, or falcon, symbol of Czech gymnastics, strength, and beauty. Her brooch commemorates an entrance into the EU, which was a step over the unknown threshold for the country itself. So she's wearing this EU brooch here. So, I mean, this card definitely goes with your reading because we're talking about, you know, stepping over into a new threshold, and like oftentimes when you step into something new or you step into your power, because that's really what this is about. This is about you stepping into your power and taking power over your life. And oftentimes you're going to come up into situations where you're going to have to choose to move ahead anyway, regardless of what other people say. So, you know, that message is definitely telling you to go for it. You know, whether it's a new job opportunity, you know, just make sure that you're not putting your emotional fulfillment on the back burner. Make sure that that's something that you're thinking about. And now I'm also going to pull one more oracle card. Actually, for you guys, we're going to use the Goddess Oracle. So what messages do we have for Leo for January 2018? Messages for Leo, January 2018. What messages do we have for Leo for January 2018? What messages do we have for Leos for January 2018? What can you add to this reading for us? For Leo for January 2018. What messages do you have for Leo for January 2018? Let's give them another good shuffle and just see. Oh, there it is. Okay. It popped right out on its own, and there it is. You've got Sphinx Challenge. And there you go again. That's, you know. So let's read in the booklet here what it says for this card, Sphinx. Okay. So we're going to read the, I'm going to read, it comes with like a poem and then a meaning of the card. Challenge. If I ask the question that provokes, will you stretch to find the answer? Will you take up the gauntlet flung boldly and defiantly answer the call? Will you meet my challenge with tingling in your blood, with your hair blowing electric in the wind, with all your being, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity, every challenge presents a gift, every challenge is there to serve you or not. It's your choice. The Sphinx will not let you pass until you respond to her challenge. She asks, how can you meet a challenge and prosper in all the aspects of your being? You can let yourself get torn down by challenge or kicked or pounded or defeated. But how can you take the challenge and use its energy to nurture yourself? Have you been running from challenges all your life and now find you haven't developed the energy or power to face them? Perhaps it's easier to ignore the challenge and go on with self-limiting behavior. Or maybe you feel that life is all messed up. Whatever way you have been dancing with challenge in the past has to change. The greatest challenge in living is how you respond to challenges. The Sphinx says the only way to wholeness on your path is to meet your challenges face to face. So, I do hope that this reading has offered you some insight into your situation and that it helps you start off your new year. And thank you for joining me, Leo, and I hope you have a great day and Happy New Year. Bye.